It's you. You are the only factor holding yourself back from your full potential. It's only ever been you. There's nothing in your environment that can hold you back besides you. You are your own problem. Once you realize that, you realize you're in control. And once you realize you're in control, you do everything in your power to control yourself. And this is going to take a long, long, long time. Right? If you've been building up bad habits for a decade or two, it's going to take a long time to unravel all of the bad habits. But you just do it one by one by one. But number one, you have to first notice the problem. The problem is you. What's the common denominator in every problem in your life? It's you. Yeah, I'm sure bad things have probably happened to you. Bad things happen to everybody. Okay? That's no excuse. You know, there's people around me where they've went through like really, really bad things. You know, I've went through some bad things, but I know people who've went through way, 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 way worse. But they made the best of it. And they're always like such an inspirational person because they went through tough times and said, I'm going to still be a good person anyways. I'm still going to try really hard anyways. And that's a person I respect. Not somebody who complains all the time, you know, huffs and puffs. You know, I work at a warehouse and there'll be a lot of, you know, voluntary time off that you can take here and there. And people all day long. I mean, it's a 10-hour shift. It is a pretty tough job. So I could understand it sometimes. But every single day, they will come in and already start their day off with a loser mindset. They'll go into work wanting to go home. That is the wrong mentality to have. Doesn't matter how much your job sucks. Most jobs suck. You have the opportunity, though, to make the best of it. And instead of being a victim, instead of feeling like, oh, this job is holding me back, use that job to your advantage. Especially a job like mine. They give out overtime all the time. So instead of, you know, going home early all the time, and then your paychecks are less and less and less and less, and now you got to catch up on bills, you got to catch up on this, and you're just in this endless loop. All you really need to do is just lock in for a couple months, and you'll be so much farther ahead. Like, it's really so simple. Theoretically, it's so simple, but nobody can resist temptation nowadays. So number one, if you are like an animal, you will steamroll the competition. Like, once you get to past a certain level of just people, you just steamroll until you get to that next level where you're at the, you know, where you're battling it out with, you know, people who make tens of millions of dollars and the actual animals. But the people who you're probably surrounded by right now, people who work a 9 to 5 and all that, you can beat all of them. I'm telling you right now, if you genuinely put the work in, you can beat all of them. If you put your head down and just put the work in. And resist the temptation of, you know, spending your money on dumb stuff, you know, DoorDash, subscriptions you don't need. Stop wasting your time on endless entertainment, social media, scrolling. You know, maybe educational content is okay from time to time. Maybe like on your lunch break or things like that. Like, if you had a really, really hard day and you need to, you know, wind down with like a little 30-minute video before you go to sleep or something, I don't think that's bad. That's a little bit of a reward system, you know? But if you're just scrolling all day and then you don't even have a job or this or that, and you're like above the age of 20, like, what are you doing? Especially if you're at the age of 20, you have all the time in the world to build yourself up and beat the competition. You can save up, you know, $20K a year very easily. You're probably living at home with your parents. So you could save up 20K every single year easily while still having a good time, while still having fun, still having a balanced life. And within 5 years, you can have 100K stacked up. 20K a year for 5 years, 100K. Even if you're not like investing it, you could have 100K in savings. If you're investing it, you could have like 150, 170K. But it's really like, it's not that hard in theory. It is hard to do in practice, of course. But like, the best things in life come from the hardest things as well. Like, you need to do the hard shit in order to actually push the needle ahead. Like, you just need to get to a point where you truly just, you had enough. You had enough, and now you need to really just go, fire away. And you don't want to have that turning point at like 37 where now you wake up and now you got to really just start up this race. You don't want to be there, I'm telling you right now. You know, I'm 27 right now, and sometimes I'll feel a little bit old or whatever, but that doesn't stop me. That doesn't stop me at all. That only pushes me forward because I'm only going to get older. So if you just like focus on that, what's the point? That's very pointless to hyper focus on, oh, I'm too old, I can't even start this, I can't even start now. No, just start. Just try to find a job. Honestly, I work at Amazon warehouse, right? So there's always, you know, so much overtime. It is a killer job. I live in New York, so I work in one of the most busiest warehouses all the time. It's sometimes like, it's anywhere from like 65 to 100,000 volume. 65 is easy, but like 100,000 volume in the center. It's a lot. It's a lot of physical labor, but I still, you know, go to the gym at least, you know, 5 days a week. Then I work my shift. I take overtime. I still work my, you know, 55, 60 hours a week from there. And then I do this as well. I work on business shit. Like, I'm fired up. I'm fired up. And if I can, the thing is, if you can do all of the hard things, when your life is hard, when you may not have so much money, when there might be a lot of negative people around you, you know, where you might be coming from a very negative situation. If you do the hard things when your life is hard, you'll be able to just crush it. And I mean crush it when life finally gets easy. Because if you do the hard things for long enough, eventually your life will get easier. And once your life gets easier, that's not, you know, don't get comfortable. That's when you can go so hard and just run laps around everybody. And that's like, I think that's such a key fundamental to success in general. You know, there's no real like get rich quick things. No. Even if you do get rich quick, it will come around and, you know, slap you down afterwards. Like, it's not going to last because you're not the type of person that can even, you know, is capable enough to handle that sort of money or power or whatever it is. That's why most people who win the lottery, you know, end up broke because they're not the type of person to handle. They're just somebody who, you know, doesn't think they actually deserve it. They just got lucky. So then that money is all just going to be taken away from them. You know, as simple as that. So if you build from within first, if you build that unstoppable person from within first, and you do all of the hard things, all of the right things, when you get your opportunity, when you get your chance, you will strike, and you will strike gold. And now you will be sitting on a gold mine. You'll be sitting on a gold mine, doing something that you love, and now you could just go harder. Now you're in a good position, good. Time to go harder. You know, that doesn't that doesn't give you permission to get all comfortable. Maybe give yourself a little reward. Maybe give yourself a little vacation if you get to some sort of milestone. Maybe a couple 100,000 in the bank, or maybe the business is really doing good, or maybe you hit $1 million, or maybe it's a certain follower count or something. Maybe give yourself some rewards if you feel like you need it. A little vacation. Take your family on vacation. Honestly, try to just like give back to the people around you, but include yourself in it. And then reset your mind. Think about, now, what is the next step of my evolution? What are my next goals? What are my new goals now? And now it's time to chase that. Now it's time to go for that. And that's how you just keep on going, and you crush it from that point moving forward. So do all of the hard things now. Like, if you don't have a job right now, apply to Amazon. Just give it a try. And sometimes, the schedule won't, be up and it'll be hard. I'm telling you, just for a month, if you just keep refreshing that page, keep refreshing, they're always hiring, they're always rotating. So keep refreshing that page, like a maniac, and you'll get the opportunity. Make sure you signed in and all that. You'll get the opportunity to get a job. And that's just a foot in the door. Because now you can make, at least $1,000 a week after tax. And if you live at home, stack it up, stick to the plan like I told you. 20K, 20K, 20K. Boom, 100K. By the time if you start at 20, by the time you're like 25. Bang. Even if you're not 20, even if you're 25, 27, 30, within a 5-year time frame, it depends, because the older you are, you might have more bills and all that. But that's your fault. That's your problem. But you can still relatively save 100K. And once you get to 100K, that's, that's a decent amount to change your mindset, to make you believe that you are capable of so much more. Because most people can never even get to that point. Or they get to that point when they're, in their late 40s or 50s, they get their first like 100K in their 401K or something stupid. But no, you can crush all the competition. Everyone's distracted. Nobody can focus on their dreams and goals and aspirations because they're distracted by things that do not matter. Sports, social media, you can enjoy it here and there, but at a cost. And do you want it bad enough? What do you want more? Do you want to be happy and, feel all fuzzy inside, fuzzy and warm, and, be all jolly, smiling? Oh, I got to watch, I don't know. Whatever. I got to watch this, and it was great. And now then, like, after that's over, after that show is over, you snap back into reality, and you're like, damn, my life is terrible. And then you try to just zone out and do the same thing. So then you're trying to, like, hold on, let me get a sip of water. You're trying to, like, numb yourself to your reality. And yeah, you should ignore reality to a certain sense, but to a certain extent. But you need to stop numbing yourself. Like the same people who go out partying and drink all the time or smoke all the time, they are just numbing themselves because they don't like their reality. And then they'll look at you as if you're weird if you don't, smoke or drink or any. Bro, I love who I am. And I don't want to interfere with that. So why would I try to adhere myself? Why would I try to, make myself in this forgetful state of mind? Just, why would I do that when I love who I am? If you truly love who you are, you won't be, drinking all the time. So unless you just like enjoy it. Some people do just genuinely enjoy it and they enjoy life as well. But most people, they're numbing themselves. And they'll never admit it, these types of people. But they're just getting numb. So just get rid of all your bad habits, slowly but surely. grind out the 9 to 5 as much as you can, and then try to start some sort of business as well on the side. So then you're building at the same time, because a business is going to take time, and you're only going to learn how to, build and form a business by just doing it. Like, there's only so much you can learn without doing it. So just start doing shit, and you'll just kind of figure it out along the way. And that's really it for this one. I hope this is some good advice for you guys. But yeah, as always, I love you guys. Peace out.